Good afternoon. We are at Morris Pollard Gymnasium for a high school basketball game today. My name is Tom Smith. Beside me, Ron Probst. We'll be doing a game today between the Speedway High School varsity basketball team and the Eminence Eels basketball team. First of all, the starting lineups for Eminence. At one guard, their second leading scorer, number 21, Julian Webb, a 6-foot senior. Also starting at guard for the Eels, number 23, Nolan Ringler, a 5'10 junior. At forward for the Eels, number 33, Wesley O'Mullane, 6-foot senior forward. Also at forward, number 40, Bryce Kemp, a 6-foot senior. And also rounding out the lineup, number 42, Zeke Newton, 6'3 senior. Now we'll have the national anthem.
So we can honor our nation's flag.
And now for Speedway starting lineup, number 3, Noah White, second leading scorer in the Sparkplugs, a 6-foot senior forward. At guard for Speedway, number 22, Carson Hairston, a 5'11 junior guard. Also number 24, Reese Walker, the leading scorer for the Plugs. 5'8 sophomore, number 24, Jevin Ruffin, number 30, a 6-foot senior. And also rounding out the starting lineup, Drew Valentine, number 32, a 5'7 junior guard.
The American Cancer Society and the National Association of Basketball Coaches adopted the concept in 1993 and transformed it into a nationwide effort to unite coaches across the country in the common mission to provide help and hope to all people facing cancer. In 2008, the IBCA decided to get involved by having coaches wear tennis shoes and collect donations to the December or January basketball game. In the basketball program, we talk a lot about DWC. Well, today, DWC stands for Down with Cancer. With that in mind, donations will be collected by the Speedway High School JV team between the first and second quarters, with all donations going to our key club here at Speedway High School, which fields a team in the Speedway Relay for Life Cancer Walk each June. I'm proud to say that over the 12 years that Coaches vs. Cancer at Speedway High School has participated, we've collected over $9,000 for various individuals and groups fighting cancer. At this time, I'd like to do two things. First, let's offer a moment of silence to remember all those that we have lost to cancer. And second, I'd like for all those in the crowd that have fought and survived cancer to sit down. And I'd like for the rest of us all to stand up and show our support for those people that have fought cancer and won. Thanks for coming out for the Speedway fighting cancer.
Now, starting lineups for this afternoon's game for Eminence High School. At one guard, number 21.
Once again, what we just witnessed was a comment from varsity basketball coach Charles Bennett. 12 years ago, started a Coaches versus Cancer game in conjunction with raising money for cancer victims. And you may have just seen what he had in the stands do was to sit down if you fought cancer already, and the rest of you haven't stand up and give a round of applause for those who have. And once again, a noble cause. The donations that are given this year will go to the Relay for Life team from our key club here at Speedway High School, helping raising money during the Relay for Life here at Speedway.
Noah White. And the other forward, number 30, Eminence.
Coach, this is a game where neither team has a big height advantage. I think the tallest player on either roster is 6'3". That person happens to be Zeke Newton, the leading scorer for Eminence. Eminence enters the game with a 3-5 record. Sparkplugs are 1-6 at this point. As we've talked before in doing Speedway games, I guess we could call them height challenged. Tallest player on the Speedway roster is 6'1" Marcus Gibson, an outstanding football player. This will be a game of two teams that I haven't seen Eminence play this year, but I promise you that Speedway will play hard. My guess is it'll be a hard played game by both teams. Zeke Newton will jump against Noah White. Speedway comes up with a tip. Jevin Ruffin with the ball. Drew Valentine, leading scorer from last year. This is his third game of the year due to a knee injury. Drew the long three-pointer, and it's good. Three-pointer by Drew Valentine. Speedway with man-to-man defense, which you will see most of the time from the Sparkplugs. 21, Julian Webb, the leading scorer for the Eminence Eels with the ball, makes a nice pass, back door, layup missed, rebound put back in by number 40, Bryce Kemp. So both teams score on their first possession. Drew Valentine, another three-point shot attempt, misses. Zeke Newton comes down with a rebound. Julian Webb advances the ball up the floor. Zeke Newton now with the ball down in the post, misses, and Jevin Ruffin comes down with a rebound. Carson Harrison on the dribble. Jevin Ruffin inside, passes out to wing to Reese Walker. Present leading scorer for the Plugs, just a sophomore. Nice backdoor pass to Carson Harrison, and misses a layup. Score remains 3-2. Sparkplugs. Julian Webb with the ball for the Eels. Lester O'Mullane. Ball comes to Bryce Kemp. Back into Newton inside. And he's going to have a 3-second violation. He Plugs basketball. Coach, two teams probably kind of trying to struggling a little bit to get their identity. And
well, we talked to some of the ex-players here that actually played last year. We lost 5 or 6 seniors last year. And then when you couple that with the fact that our leading player back for the year missed the first 5 games, an inexperienced team, it's going to take a while to find themselves. But as you mentioned earlier, I know this team will hustle hard, they'll play hard. And Eminence is we'll probably talk about this as the game goes on, but a proud, small, but a very proud community, proud of their high school, particularly proud of their basketball team. So
Carson Harrison with the three-pointer that put the Plugs ahead 6-2. Zeke Newton with the ball on the post. Passes out to Julian Webb. Now to Nolan Ringler. Sparkplugs, a man-to-man defense, as we said. Pass intercepted by Drew Valentine. Behind the back pass, it goes out of bounds off the fingertips of Noah White.
first couple of possessions, it looks like Eminence hadn't really made it a big secret. They're trying to go inside to number 42.
Carson Harrison with a three-pointer short. Julian Webb on the drive, passes inside. Missed layup by number 40, Bryce Kemp. Here's Valentine with a shot, rounding out. Up to this point, Coach, both teams have several scoring opportunities that haven't gone in. Zeke Newton on the shot, rounding out. Jevin Ruffin once again with the rebound. Jevin Ruffin, three-point attempt, no good. And we're halfway through the first quarter, score 6-2. Sparkplugs lead. Julian Webb with the ball. Nice defense by Reese Walker, and we're going to have a jump ball. And I think, well, we got a timeout before the jump ball. Timeout taken by Eminence. I know Todd Haney, the coach of the Eminence Eels, upset with a lack of movement from players and ball.
We talked a little bit about the schedules before the game, and it is kind of odd that Eminence is in the same conference. It's called the Greater Indianapolis Conference. It includes Tinley, Howell, Metropolitan, Washington, Manual, Math and Science, Crystal Academy. So they do come up to Indianapolis quite often this year and play basketball.
Carson Harrison, the pass from Elvin Camacho, scores his 5th point of the ball game. 8-2, Plugs. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Zeke Perez now in the lineup for Sparkplugs. The foul's going to be called on Zeke Perez, his first foul of the game. Nathan Metallic also in the game for the Sparkplugs, 6-foot freshman. Julian Webb scores for the Eels. 8-4, 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Reese Walker, the dribble. Elvin Camacho, back door. Carson Harrison misses. This layup by the Eels. High school basketball, not a big crowd, but a noisy crowd, particularly from the Eminence side right now. You mentioned earlier a school that does not have a football team. Reese Walker with a 15-foot jumper short.
Yeah, so far through almost a quarter, I'm really impressed with our shot selection. We're getting good shots. We're not knocking down very many of them, but I don't think from the coaching staff you can complain too much about the quality of our shots, the timing. Not very many forced shots. We just need to hit a few.
You got 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. There have been 2 fouls called, and they're both, one from Eminence, one from Speedway, and both offenders are named Zeke. Zeke Newton, once again, the leading scorer for Eminence. Zeke Perez now back on the bench for the Sparkplugs. Marcus Gibson has taken his place. Drew Valentine gets his own rebound, puts it back again. It'll be Eminence ball. And I would agree, both teams really getting good shots.
Yeah.
A lot of them inside the lane that going around and out.
Neither team is finishing off shots very well. Both of us had really good opportunities inside 3-4 feet.
Marcus Gibson called for the foul for the Sparkplugs, his first, team second. Colton Bales on the drive. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Eminence ball. Shot blocked by Nathan Metallic. Ball goes inside to Newton, and he scores his first field goal of the night, and it's 8-6. Not sure we didn't miss a double dribble there, Coach. That's going to be Speedway ball on the errant pass from Julian Webb.
Checking in for Eminence, Bryce Kent.
Reese Walker back into the game, replacing Carson Harrison.
Reese Walker.
Drew Valentine on the dribble. Both teams once again in man-to-man defense. Both teams putting quite a bit of pressure. Drew Valentine with a missed shot.
Nice pass. The nice pass.
Bales on the field goal, and we've got a tie game. 30 seconds remaining in the quarter. Coach Todd Haney barking out instructions. Appears they're going to try to hold the ball. Final shot. Ball goes out of bounds. Eminence ball. 9.3 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Nate Metallic with another block shot. Ball be inbounded by Julian Webb. Field goal by Bryce Kemp. I think 4 of their 10 points, Coach, was scored on inbounds play.
Yeah. Speedway led 8-2 about halfway through the first quarter, but Eminence fought back. Obviously, the shot there at the buzzer puts them up 10-8. We have one common opponent so far in the season. We both played Monrovia, and Monrovia got both of us pretty good. I think a few things about Eminence that a lot of our fans probably don't know, probably don't even know where they're located, but it's located south of here. As we talked about the conference that they're in, which is a little unusual for a rural school to be involved with those schools, but as I mentioned, I think a very small, and I think this is the fabric of Indiana high school basketball, is the small communities. And I think at one point in our state we had almost 800 schools. Consolidations cut into a lot of that, and I think when that happened, a lot of the smaller communities lost their identity, and this is one school system that did not, and they're very proud. They've got 4 sectional championships in their history. They got 1 regional championship back in 1962. They've won actually 2 sectionals since the advent of class basketball. But I taught in some of these. I grew up in these kinds of communities, and they're very proud communities. And there's not a lot going on sometimes in those, and this is the big game in town, and a lot of people come out, and they're very, as I said, they're very proud of their kids.
And it's the thing to do in those communities.
Oh, yeah.
I student taught at College Corner, Indiana, and the game was at home on Friday or Saturday night. Most of the people in the town were there.
Mention to the people the unique thing about the College Corner Gymnasium.
College Corner Gymnasium was right on the Ohio-Indiana state line, and in the 10-second line, supposedly the state line went right through the gym, and they had an I painted on one side of the 10-second line and an O on the other side. They played in the Indiana basketball tournament, they did not have football, but played in the Ohio baseball tournament.
See, that's what makes high school sports, the stories like that are unique. And we got two of the best nicknames here today as well, Sparkplugs and Eels.
42,
Zeke Newton for 2, and they now have a 4-point lead. High school games all over the country, but Sparkplugs and Eels would probably be the winning of the nicknames schools. Drew Valentine short on his little jumper and picks up a foul.
Speedway foul, number 32, Drew.
Defensively, but really have to put the clamps on Newton. It's pretty obvious that they're trying to get the ball. He's not real fancy inside, but when he gets it inside, he can score, and I think we need to do a better job of perhaps our perimeter defense to make it difficult to pass inside, but I think our post people, he's not tremendously big. He's very strong, as you can see, but we need to do a better job.
6'3", 205.
All right, we need to do a better job of, because I think if we can contain him, we've got a great shot of winning this game.
That's the 5th foul on the Sparkplugs.
Speedway foul on number 20.
That one on Reese Walker.
His first team hit.
His first. Ball comes into Bryce Kemp. Another field goal by Zeke Newton.
That is 12 unanswered by the
6
Eels.
points of the game. Noah White short on his little jumper in the lane. Seems like a lot of our shots are short, Coach. We've had 12 unanswered points by the Eels. Colton Bales with the ball. Jevin Revan with the rebound. Drew Valentine with a layup.
Drew Valentine for 2.
First Sparkplug score in a while, now trailing 14-10. Into the game for the Eels, Julian Webb returns, replacing Colton Bales.
Your conversation with Coach Bennett before the game about the progress of the team, and I think they were really pleased the last weekend before Christmas, beating a conference foe in Cecina and then playing a really good half against a really talented Greenwood team. Be nice to see that improvement continue here as we enter into the second half of the season.
The Greenwood game was a good first half, and then Greenwood had 4 or 5 6'4" to 6'6" kids, and their height took advantage of their height. Three-pointer by 23, Nolan Ringler. 17-10. doing a good job defensively. Foul on 33. Wesley Overlane.
Eels, number 33, Wesley Overlane. His first team second. Second into the Sparkplugs.
It's only the second team foul on the Eels. Zeke Perez back in the game for the Sparkplugs. Kevin Ruffin shot, gets his own rebound to Zeke Perez to Drew Valentine. Ruffin gets the rebound,
Nice
and puts
rebound.
it back in. His first points of the game. Zeke Newton with his 8th point. Drew Valentine misses from. We're going to have a foul on Carson Harrison. One of the things I noticed about Valentine is he missed the first several games, and I think he's still a little bit tentative with his knee.
And I can understand that.
I can too. I can too. Zeke Perez picks up his second foul. So the fouls are 7 against the Sparkplugs, 2 against the Eels. And that's going to send Zeke Newton to the free throw line. Heard the word yelled out homer, and I thought that they were talking about the ball being given out of bounds to the Eels, but that was their inbounds play with homer. Old term that means a lot to me because that's what my mother used to yell in the stands all the time. Nate Metallic with a 3, short.
Good board.
Bad pass from Julian Webb, the attempt to get it to Zeke Newton. Turnover, and the Plugs have the ball out of bounds. 19-12 the score. Reese Walker for 3, and he's fouled on the shot. That was on Bryce Kemp, his first, team's third. Reese Walker will have 3 free throws. Reese, a 5'8" sophomore. This is the first free throw. Hits the second. His first points of the game.
Number 30, Colton Bales.
Colton Bales back in the game for Eminence. Reese Walker with his third of 3 free throws and hits the second.
That was textbook press offense right there. No dribbles, 3 passes, and a layup. Very well designed by Eminence, executed perfectly.
Checking in for the Plugs, number 30.
That's Perez's 3rd foul.
Oh, wow.
Zeke Newton gets the offensive rebound. Now the biggest lead of the game, 9 points for the Eels.
Shot.
Carson Harrison for 3. His 8th point of the game. I know we've been getting beat on some of the drives, and somebody's got to come and help out. And it's giving them open field.
We're getting beat off the drive, and we're getting a little help, and unfortunately they're finding the open man.
On the line, Carson Harrison.
That's Newton's 2nd foul. Carson Harrison will go to the free throw line.
Checking in for the Plugs.
Evan Owens into the lineup for the first time, replacing Jevin Ruffin.
For the Eels, number 40, Bryce Kemp.
2 minutes, 10 seconds to go before the half. Need to make some hay here with Newton out of the lineup. Talk about an old term, make some hay while the guy's out of the lineup. 26-18. Plugs trail, 2 minutes to go in the first half.
You can see they're running a little bit different of an offense right now with him out too.
Nate Metallic with the steal. Pass to Reese Walker for the layup. Nice job by Nate Metallic.
Reese Walker for 2.
Plugs come down with a rebound with a chance to cut it to 4. And with the 3-pointer to 3. Nice shot fake by Noah White, misses it. Speedway gets a tip out in the ball. Charge is called on Eminence. Noah White shaken up on the play.
Foul on number 40.
Foul's on 40. Bryce Kemp, his 2nd foul.
Team 5th. Checking in for the Plugs, number 32.
You know, there are two plays in that last sequence that we did that we're going to have to do this year. The first one was down here on Eminence, on the tip in. The rebound was tipped out. And it's going to be very difficult for us this year to box out. We're going to have to chase down rebounds, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And we chase that one down. And down here we take a charging foul. And those are the things, when you're offensively challenged, as we are, we got to find ways throughout the year to do more of those types of things. And I know our kids are trying. Effort is there. But the more of those that we can do, especially on the rebounding part of it, right? Boxing out is one thing, but we're going to have to be a chasing down rebounding team.
The margin of error is so small that getting those kind of plays and tipping them out.
Number 33, Wesley O'Mullane.
Wesley O'Mullane with the foul, his 2nd.
And
so the Eels have 6 fouls. 3 different players have picked up 2. Nate Metallic at the line for the Sparkplugs.
And you got to find different ways of scoring as well, whether they be, off of turnovers, off free throws. It's going to be difficult for us to get many offensive putbacks, but as the season goes on, we just need to search for ways to make that window a little bit more open, as you talked about before.
Eel basket on 52, left field goal lane.
Old Mullane to that last field goal for the Eels. Bruce Walker has a shot blocked. That concludes the first half with the score, Eminence 28, Speedway 22. We'll be right back with your first half scoring.
Ladies and gentlemen, the restrooms are located on the second level of the gym behind
Once again, this is Tom Smith along with Ron Probst. We're here at Morris Pollard Gymnasium. Your scoring for the first half, Julian Webb had 5 for the Eminence Eels. Nolan Ringler also had 5. Colton Bales 2. Wesley O'Mullane 2. Bryce Kemp 4. And the leading scorer for both teams in the game so far is Zeke Newton with 10 for the Eels. For the Sparkplugs, Carson Harrison, our leading scorer, with 9. 6 of those points came on 2 3-pointers. Reese Walker has 4, Jevin Ruffin 2, Drew Valentine 5, and Nate Metallic 2 for Speedway's total of 22 points. Once again, 28-22 as we get prepared to start the second half.
I think following the path of the New England Patriots and what you need to do to win games, you try to take away the number 1 or number 2 option or whatever, and I think we got to do a really good job on Newton. I know he's only got 10 points, but he's the one I would make somebody else beat us. Nice
Drew
pass.
Valentine
Good
on
pass.
the drive. Purdue. Speedway with a man-to-man defense. Full court now. And I'd agree, Newton's the guy that they've got to slow down because all his shots come pretty much from point blank. Bryce Kemp scores for the Eels. Drew Valentine on the jumper, and he's fouled. It'll be O'Mullane's 3rd foul.
Once he gets back, and you talked about growing into past his injury, this is going to be a huge help for us. We played 5 games without him. Good score. I mean, he was a very good player last year. A big contributor to that team that ended up the season, the sectional runner-up. Had a great end of the season. The rebound.
Carson Harrison, 2 misses inside.
Nice pass.
I believe there was a travel.
Thought he
on
traveled
that play.
too.
Speedway fans letting them know it. Sparkplugs trail by 4. 4 points, all 4 points scored by Drew Valentine. And what he will do is, as you well know, Coach, is because he's able to score, he will create shots for other people. The other end, Bryce Kemp scores for the Eels, and so back to a 6-point lead, 32-26. Reese Walker on the defense, Julian Webb.
Nice look. I'm impressed. Got a charger. I'm really impressed with how well Eminence moves the basketball. Very unselfish. Moving the basketball really well to get good shots.
Bryce Kemp with his 3rd foul, so 2 players on the Eels with 3 fouls right now. For the Sparkplug's sake, it'd be nice to pick up number 3 on the Zeke
Nice.
as well. Metallic, 2-pointer, his first field goal of the game, his 4th point.
Not sure how effective our press has been up to this point. I think
Well, a couple of times, and that was one of them there. And I'm not sure that Nate is the back guy on the press, but Carson Harrison with the field goal. You know, kind of a rule when you full court press is you don't give up layups. There's nothing more discouraging than pressing and giving up a layup. And a couple of times our back person has gotten beat that gave up pretty much uncontested layups. Newton for his 12th point. Carson Harrison for 3. And that's his 14th point in the game. Leading score for the Plugs.
And we got the offense rolling now. We got to get some stops on this end of the floor.
Reese Walker that time took it in too far. Had a 3-on-1 really. And that was a scoring opportunity that didn't work out very well.
That's why when you have the advantage that big, it's always good to have the ball right in the middle of the floor. Good hustle, good hustle. Let's get a bucket here. Nice move, nice move.
Carson Harrison. Timeout taken by the Eels. The Plugs closed to within 1, 36-35. 3:50 remaining in this third quarter. Carson Harrison has 7 points this quarter, Coach, for a total of 16. Drew Valentine with 4 this quarter for a total of 9.
You know, backtracking a little bit, the interview we had with the 4X players here, give our athletic department, Brian Avery, big kudos, big props for developing the student leadership committee. I know they meet on Fridays, I believe, and it just does a lot. It's not just through athletics. They do other things, and it's something new this last, as they were talking about the last couple of years.
I know Jim Murley, assistant on Coach Bennett's staff, and Joe Smith, the girls' varsity coach, are 2 of the, and there may be more, but I know those 2 are heavily involved in the sponsorship of that group. Student athletic leadership team, and I think named appropriately and does a lot for the atmosphere around school.
And when we talk to the players, ex-players, about things that they've taken with them, those are some of the things, not just what happens out here between the 4 corners. It's,
right.
And Coach Bennett does a great job of that too.
And that's going to be a foul on 22, Carson Harrison, and that's his 3rd foul.
Speedway foul on Carson Harrison, number 22, his 3rd, team 2nd.
So the 2 leading scorers, 1 from each team. Good hustle play by Nate Metallic. Nate's only a freshman. Not very many freshmen play varsity basketball in Marion County.
No.
Now Eminence gone to a zone.
I don't know how this will turn out. It may backfire, but I do like what Eminence is doing here. They've got to stop the. We're on a pretty good run right now offensively. We've gotten to a good tempo, a good rhythm. That's the whole idea behind changing defenses.
Drew Valentine gets his own rebound and gets a field goal. The Plugs have their first lead in a long time.
First lead since 8-2, 8-4.
And turn around and get it right back. Now the Eels lead by 1. fell on
Number 30 is Colton
Colton Bales,
team third.
his first.
Delay game on red.
And I think his hands went across as what he called. It looked like what he was calling.
Okay.
Broke the plane of.
Oh, nice pass.
Nice pass
Good
from
pass.
D. Valentine to Evan Owens for Owens' first field goal. Plugs regain the lead by 1. Jump ball, the possession arrow goes to Eminence. 2:07 remaining in this third quarter. Plugs lead 39-38. Plugs get the turnover, get the ball back. Nate Metallic, a nice move, missed the shot. Zeke Perez with a hustle play, gets the ball back. Ball out of bounds, the Sparkplug ball underneath their own basket.
Checking in for the Sparkplugs, number 20, Alvin Camacho.
Camacho in the ball game for the Sparkplugs. I went to the Greenfield Central game, coach, and Elvin had 6 threes in the game. The Sparkplug ball out underneath their own basket.
Be nice to get a little breathing room here before the end of the third quarter.
Turnover by the Sparkplugs.
Nice pass.
And we got a foul on Zeke Perez. That'll be his 4th.
Foul on 34.
Newton is going to go to the line.
With Sparkplugs, Zeke Perez, his 4th. On the line, number 42, Zeke Newton. Checking in for the Sparkplugs, number 30, Gavin Ryan.
Zeke Newton misses his first. 50 seconds remaining in this third quarter.
I think I'm making a mental list of who we might want to foul at the end of the game if it's close. I think I've got a number 1 candidate.
I do too. Go for 3 from the free throw line right now. We talked earlier about holding the ball for last shot. Sparkplugs Three-point shot attempt by Elvin Camacho. We'll see if that backfires on
I
him.
just think this is a smart thing to do. I mean, when you get deep enough, I'm not saying hold the ball for 40 seconds, but
Now on Speedway Sparkplugs, Jevin Ruffin, his first, team fourth.
Jevin Ruffin picks up the foul.
Number 30, Colton Bales.
Colton Bales is going to have the opportunity with 2 shots to give the Eels the lead, which his first shot is short.
Wesley Overlane and number 20, Cole Webb.
Drew Valentine with a 3 to end the quarter.
well, on the season, Speedway's averaging right around 43 points a game. And we're sitting on 39 right now, so we're probably going to surpass that. Eminence averaging around 50, so both teams average very close to the same amount.
Speedway High School is proud to have Select Physical Therapy as a provider of sports medicine services. The Sparkplugs would like to acknowledge and thank Team Dr. Don and athletic trainer Andrew Caitlin for the care of injured athletes.
Sparkplugs outscored the Eels that quarter 20-11. Drew Valentine's 3 there at the end of the quarter gives him 14 points so far in the game. Sparkplug leading scorer still Carson Harrison with 16. Reese Walker with 4. Nate Metallic with 4. Jevin Ruffin and Evan Owens both 2 apiece. For the Eels, 3 players have 5 points. Julian Webb, Nolan Ringler, and Colton Bales. Wesley O'Mullane has 2. Bryce Kemp has 10, and leading scorer Zeke Newton has 12. Nate Metallic with the miss inside.
That's right.
Wesley O'Mullane scores to open up the 4th quarter for Noah White with a 3-pointer. His first point to the evening. 45-41, Sparkplugs. Julian Webb with a shot, no good. Zeke Webb with a miss. Noah White called for the foul, his first.
Speedway foul on number 3, Noah White, hit first, team 5th. On the line, number 42, Zeke Newton.
Zeke Newton will go to the line for 2 free throws. Timeout taken by the Sparkplugs, a full timeout.
I think I like this timeout, by the way. We've gotten the lead up to 4 here. Hopefully it's going to stay there. But the last 7 or 8 possessions, we're running what the coaches call 5 open, which is we have nobody inside, a lot of cutting, a lot of perimeter. If we're really patient with that, we can get great shots every time. We're going to be able to get to the basket. And they're again looking for ways to score. Hopefully get to the basket and get fouled, but I like what we've done in the last since we've gone to that. Now, we'll see what happens here. Coach Bennett maybe going to change up something, I don't know. But
Well, and the other thing is, when they're in 5 open, they have the opportunity to have the ball, longer possessions. Also, if having a lead probably discourages the Eels from coming out in a 2-3 zone, which makes it easier to hold the ball. But to your point, nobody in the post, a lot of movement on offense if Eminence does play a man-to-man defense.
And you know, everybody wants to see, I've watched high school scores. South Decatur, which is down around Greensburg right now, they're like 8-0 and they're averaging like 90 points a game. People like to see that, but you've got to play to your strength. You got to do what you have to do to win basketball games, to be competitive. And there's going to be times when we're going to run up and down the floor. There's going to be times where we want to be really, really, probably more patient than we have been recently.
That's an example of their play, their sideline fast break that got an open 3-pointer for Carson Harrison.
Yep.
48-41 Speedway, which is their biggest lead, I believe. I think we're ahead 8-2, a 6-point advantage, and now lead by 7. Fouls on Julian Webb.
Foul on number 21 for the Eels, Julian Webb.
His first, team's 4th. Three-pointer by Drew Valentine. That's his 17th point.
You know, I was looking at a website today, it's called 538. And they've tracked the last, like the million shots taken in the NBA.
Nate Metallic with a steal. The Plugs lead by 12.
The most productive shot in the NBA over the last 4 or 5 years has been a 3-pointer from the top of the key. Has been the most accurate. More points have been made from that spot than any other. And as you watch teams play, it's the easiest. If you're going to shoot 3-pointers, it is the easiest place. I think I would try to do something to create more shots, maybe from foul line extended on each side, but at the top of the key on the 3-point line.
It'd be interesting to see that the shooting percentages at all levels from wing, point, wing versus what it is from the corners. Now it's a little shorter in the NBA in the corners than it is if you're out on top, but
I challenge you, when you watch a college game or a pro game or high school game, just watch how many 3-point shots are made more from that position than they are other areas on the floor.
Plugs lead by 12, 5:43 remaining in the game. White. The 2-pointer.
Good effort.
The defensive play by Carson Harrison. Three 3-pointers this quarter has helped tremendously. Newton gets the putback.
Everything else aside, everything else we've talked about, when the ball goes in the basket, it looks pretty good and it helps.
Tony Hinkle.
Yeah.
Foul is on Colton Bales, number 30. Speedway will inbounds the ball. Right on cue, coach. They've gone back to 5 open. And a turnover.
Eminence really has not, even though they're playing man-to-man, they have not come out very far defending away from the basket. No, not at all. And that should be a big benefit for us.
Now some full court pressure by the Eels.
Out of bounds. Rarely do you see that, but that was a good call. It was a bounce pass, but it was bounced out of bounds.
Turnover by the Sparkplugs gives the ball back to the Eels.
I don't know what we are in the timeout situations. I would not be opposed to calling one just to make sure we get set up against the press. We've got a 12-point lead. We don't want to give up quick ones here against our pressure.
Bales 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
No foul.
Foul's on Nate Metallic.
Speedway foul on number 40, Nate Metallic, his first, team 7. On the line for Eminence, number 21, Julian Webb.
Julian Webb goes to the line for the Eels. The Eels have cut it to 8 points.
It's 6 in a row.
Sparkplugs get away,
Yeah.
fortunately. Coach Bennett all the timeout you were talking about.
I think we're okay. We can be okay. But, you look at this, and I go through our first 7 games we played. The senior game was close at the end. A lot of the other games we weren't. This is probably the first time these kids have been in this situation in a varsity basketball game. Up 8, being pressed, trying to protect the lead, learning situation. So it's something that we're going to have to get better at.
These are important possessions. You're not really stalling and not shooting, but you have to take advantages of layups and things we had the last time down the floor, and take advantage of the fact that they've got to be the aggressor in the situation. And I'll say this and probably be proven wrong real quickly here, but this is not when you need 3-pointers and off-balance jump shots and things of that nature.
The shot selection shrinks. We do have one. Eminence has 5 team fouls, so we got one more to go before we're in the bonus. No, no.
That's one of those where if that's not open,
Correct. And you know what? It's kind of like a quarterback too. I could see his eyes from the beginning where that was going to go. All right, well, hopefully we got things
Plugs
settled.
escaped again. Defensively, a nice rebound by Noah White.
Pass and cut, guys.
That's twice we've had the ball inside and missed layups.
Yeah, that was.
Roland Ringler with 2 and cuts a deficit to 6 for the Eels.
8 points in a row. Keep it spread out. Good move, good decision. Back to running our regular offense now. Wow. Then we got bailed out there.
Another foul on number 42, James Newton, his third on the line for the Sparkplugs. Reese Walker.
Reese Walker will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Big free throws here, Tom. They got 8 points in a row. Not sure what. I think we have a fan issue. You know, Tom, as this is occurring, in our state, I suppose other states as well, tremendous shortage of officials because of things like this. I don't know what was said. I have no idea, but we all disagree. We all have disagreements with officials. And
Ladies and gentlemen, in the spirit of sportsmanship, dedication-based athletics, we ask for all attending today's contest to act responsibly and courteously to those around them. Negative language and inappropriate behavior will not be tolerated.
And it is. We do have in Indiana right now, we have a major shortage of officials. And it's not because of pay. A lot of these guys don't do it, they don't do it for pay. They're not making their retirement money on this. Big free throw right there.
Reese Walker hits both free throws.
Big foul shots.
Three-pointer by Noah Ringler. The Eels say we're not going away.
Exactly.
57-52. Eels have a timeout. So 57-52, 144 left in the game.
Both teams are in the bonus. Possession points to Eminence in case of a tie ball.
Assistant Athletic Director Steve Stocker is the one who escorted the fan out. Speedway is very fortunate. Brian Avery, our Athletic Director, is probably in getting gate receipt stuff from the game today. In addition to Steve Stocker, are two of the best in the state of Indiana, both here at Speedway. So it'll be Speedway ball out of bounds after the three-pointer by Nolan Ringler.
I haven't seen any stats. I don't know who our best free throw shooters is, but number 32 would be one guy would have the ball an awful lot.
Reese Walker and Drew Valentine both are good free throw shooters. Foul is on number 30, Colton Bales. Noah White will go to the free throw line for the Plugs. A 1-on-1.
Our assistant coaches do a great job of keeping Coach Bennett up to speed on offensive, defensive substitutions, especially when you get under 2 minutes to go in the game. We're always making the right moves, in my opinion.
Well, I think what happened there in the way of substitution for Speedway, they put Zeke Perez back in. And I think the thinking there is probably the strongest defender interior for Newton, knowing they're probably going to be going to Newton.
Wow.
Reese Walker comes down with a rebound.
Good.
And gets fouled by Nolan Ringler.
His first teammate on the line for Speedway.
Reese Walker goes to the line for the Sparkplugs. Plugs lead by 7. Hits the first.
Checking in for Speedway number 31, Evan Owen.
No foul, no foul, no foul. One minute.
Foul once again on Colton Bales, his fourth. His fourth. Carson Harrison will go to the line. Misses the 1-on-1.
Oh, wow. Want to play hard, but
Foul is on Evan Owens.
I don't want to put him at the line at this point.
Bryce Kemp will go to the line. He has not shot a free throw tonight for the Eels. Now brings back in Nate Metallic and Drew Valentine for offense. Bryce Kemp with a 1-on-1 hits the first free throw. Now 7-point deficit for the Eels. 54.9 seconds remaining. Kemp hits the second free throw.
Yeah, and
Valentine gets the field goal, and he'll also go to the free throw line. Big field goal there.
yeah.
Now, number 30 for Eminence, Colton Bales. On the line, Drew Valentine. Second in for the cross, number 34.
Now the offensive defensive switches for both teams really. Nate Metallic goes to the bench to bring in Zeke Perez as Zeke Newton comes back into the lineup for the Eels. That was the fifth foul on
I think
Colton
we better
Bales.
check in.
Checking in for Eminence, number 33, Wesley Overland.
33, Wesley Omelane comes into the game. Drew Valentine completes the old-fashioned three-point play.
Number 31, Evan Owens.
Evan Owens comes back in for Drew Valentine. Zeke Perez snags the rebound for the Sparkplugs. 9-point lead, 35 seconds remaining. Foul on 40. Bryce Kemp, his fourth.
On the line for Speedway, number 3, Noah White.
Noah White will go to the line again. This time it's double bonus. Noah misses the first. Hits the second. Plugs with a 10-point lead. In and out on the three-point shot attempt by the Eels. Newton, the layup. Plugs win 64-56. The second win of the season, and we'll be right back with the scoring from today's game and an interview with Coach Charles Bennett.